Do you check your phone before you even get out of bed? You're not alone. Millions of people reach for their devices before brushing their teeth, drinking water, or speaking to another human being. But why? Why does social media pull us in so strongly even when we don't need it? Drugs hook us with chemicals that flood the brain with dopamine. Social media does the same thing, but instead of pills or powders, it uses notifications, likes, and endless scrolls. Each ping is a hit. Each swipe is a dose. The difference is that drugs carry visible warnings. They come with danger labels, health risks, and social stigma. Social media, on the other hand, hides behind friendly icons, colorful apps, and the promise of connection. What feels harmless is actually designed to keep us hooked. So here's the big question. Are we in control of our phones, or are our phones controlling us? In this video, we'll break down how social media became one of the most powerful addictions of our time. And why? In many ways, it's even harder to escape than drugs. Addiction, in psychology, is defined as a compulsive need to engage in a behavior despite harmful consequences. Traditionally, we associate it with substances, alcohol, nicotine, cocaine. But behavioral addictions are just as real. Gambling, gaming, and now social media all follow the same brain patterns. At the heart of addiction is dopamine, the brain's reward chemical. Drugs flood the system with it, overwhelming the brain. Social media does it differently, but just as effectively. Every like, share, or notification delivers a small burst. The brain begins to crave the next one, creating a cycle of dependence. The statistics are staggering. The average person spends more than 2.5 hours a day on social media. For teens, that number is even higher. Studies show that many people check their phones over 100 times daily. That's not just habit, that's compulsion. Before the age of smartphones, our daily routines were shaped by physical interactions, face-to-face conversations, work, play, and rest. Now screens dominate those spaces. What once required effort, visiting friends, making plans, finding entertainment, is replaced by swipes and scrolls. This is why experts compare social media to drugs. The delivery is digital, not chemical, but the effect on the brain is remarkably similar. And while drugs are confined to certain places, social media is everywhere, in our pockets, on our desks, even at the dinner table. To understand why social media grips us so tightly, we need to look at its design. These platforms weren't built just to connect people. They were engineered to capture attention and keep it. And they do this by exploiting some of the brain's most powerful psychological triggers. The first route is dopamine loops. Each notification, like, or message delivers a burst of dopamine, the chemical that makes us feel rewarded. Our brains start to crave these bursts, leading us to check our phones constantly. Just as drugs trick the brain into releasing dopamine unnaturally, social media creates an artificial cycle of highs and lows. The second route is variable rewards, sometimes called the slot machine effect. When you pull a slot machine lever, you don't know if you'll win or lose. That unpredictability makes it addictive. Social media works the same way. Sometimes your post gets 50 likes, sometimes only 2. The uncertainty keeps you hooked, refreshing again and again. Another powerful driver is FOMO and the fear of missing out. Social media shows us highlights of other people's lives, making us afraid we'll fall behind if we don't check in constantly. The fear of missing a trend, a message, or an event fuels compulsive behavior. Then there's social validation. Humans are wired to seek approval from others. In the past, validation came from family, friends, or community. Now it comes in the form of hearts, thumbs up, and follows. The more we get, the more we want. And when we don't get it, it can feel like rejection. Finally, we can't ignore the algorithms. These invisible systems are designed to maximize engagement. They analyze your behavior and feed you content that keeps you scrolling, whether it's funny videos, dramatic news, or endless memes. Like a drug dealer who knows exactly what you crave, algorithms keep supplying the hits that will keep you coming back. Together, these roots explain why social media doesn't just attract us, it traps us. Unlike drugs, which are illegal or regulated, social media addiction is normalized, even encouraged. And that makes it all the more dangerous. Sometimes the best way to understand addiction is through stories. Take Emma, a 16-year-old student. She once enjoyed reading and drawing, but after downloading Instagram and TikTok, her free time vanished. Hours disappeared into scrolling. She started comparing herself to influencers online, and her self-esteem dropped. Her parents noticed she was more anxious, her grades slipped, and her moods grew unstable. The apps didn't just take her time, they rewired her sense of self. Now consider Daniel, a young professional. He promised himself he'd only check his phone during lunch breaks, but soon social media crept into his work hours. 10 minutes turned into an hour, then into late nights of endless scrolling. His productivity collapsed and he began losing sleep. For Daniel, the apps became like a second job, one he never signed up for. Scientists have even studied the brain directly. In one experiment, MRI scans showed that receiving Instagram likes activated the brain's reward centers in the same way as addictive substances. For the brain, there was little difference between a drug hit and a digital like. Finally, consider the generational divide. For Gen Z, growing up online feels natural. For older generations, it's shocking to see how glued younger people are to their phones. Parents and grandparents often don't understand the pull, leading to conflicts at home. These stories and studies reveal a truth. Social media addiction doesn't always look dramatic. It's quiet, subtle, and hidden in plain sight, but its impact can be just as destructive as drugs. Psychologists and philosophers have tried to explain why social media feels so irresistible. Behavioral psychology points to operant conditioning, a concept made famous by B.F. Skinner. In his experiments, rats kept pressing levers when rewards were unpredictable. Social media uses the same principle. You don't know when the next like message or notification will arrive. That uncertainty makes you keep checking again and again. Cultural critic Sherry Turkle described our modern paradox as being alone together. Surrounded by glowing screens, we are constantly connected, yet real intimacy slips away. Social media promises closeness, but often leaves us feeling more isolated than ever. Philosopher Plato's allegory of the cave feels eerily relevant too. Just as prisoners once mistook shadows for reality, today many of us mistake curated online lives for the truth. We measure ourselves against filtered illusions, forgetting they are not real. These insights reveal that social media isn't just a tool, it's a system designed to shape how we think, behave, and even see reality. Its addictive power is not accidental. It's rooted in both psychology and philosophy, making it one of the most profound challenges of our time. Every addiction comes with a price, and social media is no exception. The first cost is mental health. Studies link heavy use to higher rates of anxiety, depression, and loneliness. The constant comparison to others creates a cycle of insecurity. Every like feels good, but every absence of likes feels like rejection. Another cost is sleep deprivation. Phones glow late into the night, keeping the brain stimulated when it should be resting. Many people scroll in bed until their eyes burn, sacrificing deep sleep for endless feeds. The most painful cost is to our relationships. Instead of giving attention to people in front of us, we give it to screens. Conversations are interrupted, family dinners fade into silence, and genuine intimacy suffers. So is this convenience worth the trade-off? Social media promise connection, but often leaves us disconnected from ourselves, our sleep, and the people who matter most. If social media is more addictive than drugs, the answer isn't to fear it, it's to use it wisely. The first step is mindful use. Set limits. Instead of scrolling endlessly, decide when and how long you'll use an app. Even a 10-minute boundary can break the cycle. Next is digital detox. Take regular breaks. An afternoon without your phone, a weekend offline, or even an hour each evening. These pauses reset the brain and remind us that life exists beyond the screen. Third, replace scrolling with real activities. Read a book, walk outside, or talk face-to-face. The brain needs real rewards: sunlight, laughter, human touch. No notification can compete with those. Finally, reclaim presence. When you're with someone, be fully there. Put the phone down, look up and engage. Small acts of attention rebuild intimacy and remind us what matters. Social media doesn't have to own us. We can choose to own it. So here's the question. Are you controlling your phone, or is it controlling you? Social media may feel harmless, but its grip is real. Awareness is the first step toward freedom. If this made you think, subscribe to Mindcrafted, where we explore the mind and craft a better life together.